Now I would like to introduce to you someone who truly is a sophomore. I know that for sure because I helped recruit him as a freshman. Now I'd like to introduce to you Chris Ames from Omaha. Chris is a sophomore management major. Chris is kind of everywhere in the College of Business. You see him on a lot of our publications, and that's because he's very actively involved in so many things going on. Chris, thank you very much for coming forward. Give him a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris Ames, and I'm a sophomore management major at the University of Nebraska, an Omaha native, a graduate of Brown L. Talbot High School, a technician for the CBA help desk, and the host of an all-NFL radio show on the campus radio KRNU2, which airs from 3 to 5 p.m. every Thursday at KRNU2 on krnu.unl.edu. I'm sorry, I think I'm contractually obligated to plug that whenever I can. Tonight, Dean Plowman graciously asked me to talk to all of you, potential Huskers and parents, about my journey to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln and the College of Business Administration. 20 years ago, I attended my first Husker game. That kid you see in commercials and magazines with the little football uniform and the big N on the helmet, that was me. And yes, I was adorable. For the next 15 years, I completely associated the University of Nebraska with football, as most kids do. Once I hit high school, I began to set my sights on several schools, including Nebraska, Florida, and Maryland. 3 big-time Division I schools, a pretty grand departure from my graduating class of 32. I made visits to each one, quantifying several categories like dorm life, faculty reputation, and the all-important dining hall experience on a scale of 1 to 10 on a note card that I still have. Nebraska has always been on my radar. I have a very close, tight-knit family, some of which are here this evening. I wanted to stay close to home, and between Husker events like this one, suite-style housing, and an exponentially accelerating business school, Nebraska soon began to take over my radar. In March of last year, I was faced with a serious decision between the University of Nebraska and the University of Maryland. Cost was about equal, educational value was both phenomenal, and season tickets to football went on sale in 3 weeks and a decision had to be made. I got a phone call from Dr. Gwen Combs, the chair of the management department, asking me if I had any questions for her about CBA, management, or life on campus in general. She wasn't there to recruit me, but to simply give me everything I needed to make my decision. People care at Nebraska. School is difficult, social situations aren't always easy, but there are people to not only catch you when you fall, but to make sure you're running toward your goals. It was then when I knew why Nebraska had a 9.9 out of 10 on my little note card. Why talking about life, football, or expansionary fiscal policy with U.S. Department of the Treasury quoted faculty like Dr. William Wallstad was the norm. Why people were raving, not just talking, about Nebraska's biggest college. Because, as cliche as it is, CBA is one big family. They listen, they help, they point you in the right direction because they want you to succeed. How do I know this? Dean Plowman. And not just because of her ever-popular Twitter account. Last year, my parents and I had a pretty candid conversation with the dean about CBA. 6 months later, when I stepped into Dean Plowman's office, she knew who I was. As if my parents or I needed any more reason to be astonishingly impressed with the dean of the College of Business, she asked me how my parents were and how my mom was adjusting to me living life in Lincoln. She cared, and so does everyone else. Family is an incredibly important idea to me, and it permeates throughout the college. The business learning community offers freshmen the ability to develop a network of community members, peer mentors, and instructors to make connections throughout a college career. That, to me, sounds like a family. And to address that big, beautiful elephant in the room that is the new CBA building, it's not a bad reason to stick around for my MBA, as Dean Plowman keeps reminding me. It is going to be one of the most stylish, functional, and gorgeous business schools in the entire country. And I can't wait to see what it starts for CBA. Speaking of, what about this Start Something? Dean Plowman and the marketing communications team came up with a campaign slogan, if you will, for what CBA is trying to do. Start something. From a marketing perspective, it's gold, alliteration, motivation, and association with one singular idea, that together, using all the tools at our disposal from technologies to world-class faculty to the CBA Honors Academy, where students engage in accelerated honors business classes, we can build this program to accomplish wonders and be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And that is why I can stand before you today confident in my decision to be a Husker, because it means much more to me than being able to pass through the awesome gates of Memorial Stadium on Saturdays. Because just as the faculty and staff care, I care. I even decided to work at CBA just to soak in all that was going on around me. Dean Plowman made me a promise a little over a year ago. If I got the grades and worked hard, I would earn scholarships and succeed. And after a year on the Dean's list, even with some difficulty wrapping my head around social contract theory and philosophy 106, I am proud to live up to the Dean's promise as an R. Chalmers Grand and J. Kenneth Cozier Scholarship recipient. My success can be attributed to the confidence I gained knowing I had hundreds, if not thousands of people behind me pushing me to do more, to do better, to start something. CBA is about being a part of something more than just yourself, and that is why I'm a Husker. While my primary duties today were to inform you of why I chose to come to school here, I would like to do one more thing in closing. Welcome all of you to the next era of the College of Business Administration. While the new building will certainly be an evolution for CBA, it only works if the people in it are ready now to create opportunities for growth and foster an atmosphere conducive for success to become the next world-class business school that we can be. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Dean Plowman, the faculty, staff, and students at the College of Business Administration, I would like to welcome you to this next era, because there is no place like Nebraska.
Well, I'm glad that you got to see just how amazing our students are. They're all just like this.